Hi folks, I'm Alan Moore and welcome to Hunter Kingsley. In our first episode today, I want to talk about the styles of wedding outfit that you can wear on your wedding day, how we can help create that, and how you can look your absolute best. So let's get into it. So what sort of outfit can you wear to your wedding? For me, there's really four styles. There's traditional Highland wear, there's traditional morning wear, there's black tie, and then there's suits. Those are the four categories that I believe are appropriate for weddings. Other people might have different opinions, and other people might tell you that black tie isn't appropriate, Prince Charlie's aren't appropriate, but you know, weddings have changed and evolved over the years, and I think that the most important thing is that you're comfortable on the day, you look your absolute best on the day, and you enjoy what you're wearing and you like what you're wearing. There's no point in trying to shoehorn you into something that you don't feel confident in, you don't look your best in, and you don't enjoy wearing. So let's look a little bit closer at each individual look. Okay, so the first look that I'm going to dissect and look into is Highland wear and traditional Highland wear. I say traditional, but what we offer is slightly more contemporary than what other places might offer. Highland wear, obviously very popular for weddings in Scotland or weddings of Scottish people, but that doesn't mean that you have to be Scottish or you have to be in Scotland to wear it. Anyone can wear Highland wear if you like. That's my opinion. It's not shared by everyone, but that's what I think. So I say that we do something a bit more contemporary than the traditional. What we offer is basically two looks. We've got an evening look and a day look. The evening look, what we offer is a sort of simplified contemporary Prince Charlie jacket, and it leans more towards the black tie events, the kind of formal events where you would have guys in dinner jackets or evening wear, bow ties, patent shoes, that sort of thing. So with what we've got, it's a very sleek, slick, subtle look, and it's got things like the traditional buttons at the front and the epaulettes at the top, but rather than doing these things in pewter or silver that make them really kind of stand out and shine, we can match them to the base fabric. In this case, we've used a really dark, deep, rich green velvet from Holland & Sherry or Savile Row, and I think that this works really well. It's it's a contemporary take on a very traditional look, and it's more, in my opinion, more evening appropriate. So if you're having a black tie style wedding and you want to add a little bit of Highland wear, you still want to wear a kilt, then I would suggest going for something like this. You can wear a kilt or trews, either work really well with it. The second look is our day jacket. I think you'll see a lot of places offering Argyle jackets or Creole jackets, Braemar jackets, loads of different names for these sort of quite similar styles of jacket that have various different times of when you can wear them and why you would wear them. But for what we do is it's usually a tweed. This is a lamb's wool cashmere blend. It's got a beautiful check running through it, and I've paired it with quite a low waistcoat in the same fabric. A lot of the time what we do is contrast and clash the fabrics, so bringing out maybe one of the colours in here and adding the waistcoat, and that can work well with tartan trews or your tartan kilt as well. It's a very tricky thing to do. Matching colours and patterns and checks and trying to bring in new colours is quite difficult, but it's something that we do quite well. So for Highland wear, what we offer is two options. The dinner jacket, black tie, evening, our take on a Prince Charlie, or if you're having more of a kind of rustic wedding, something like a barn or in a castle or an estate or something like that, and it's more of that sort of country outdoorsy feel, we offer these tweed day jackets. We can do them in lamb's wools, cashmeres, cashmere blends, a variety of different compositions. Both really cool, both really different. both very contemporary, and if you're wanting to wear Highland wear, this is the options that I would suggest. Okay, so the second option that we're looking at is a suit. Suits are something that we do day in, day out. We do plenty of different styles and fabrics and cuts, but if you're looking for something for your wedding, there's a few things to consider. So I would firstly consider the time of year. So do you want to wear some kind of tweed or a kind of finer fabric or a lighter fabric? Is the weather going to dictate the type of fabric that you're going to wear? Obviously we do a lot of lightweight tweeds and heavyweight tweeds, so don't think that you can't wear one fabric in certain conditions. There's a lot of different options. So weather is one thing that I would consider, time of year of your wedding. The venue as well, do you want to tie in what you're wearing to the venue, or do you want to stand out completely different? And theme as well. So is your wedding, is it having a theme? Does it have a colour palette? Do you want to tie in with the bridesmaids? Are you looking to have the kind of quite traditional wedding party all standing and the uniform look? Or are you wanting something that's a bit more organic, and where not everyone has to match and things like that? So they're probably the first things I would consider when thinking about a suit for your wedding. So we've got a few options here, just examples of what we do. Obviously we're in lockdown at the moment, we can't go anywhere, we can't do any fittings, so we've got a few suits ready to get fitted, that will get fitted hopefully in the next few weeks when restrictions are lifted. This one is really beautiful merino cashmere blend from Johnson's of Elgin. It's a really large Prince of Wales check in black and white. It's absolutely stunning. This is the sort of thing that we really kind of specialise in. It's quite loud checks, quite bold patterns, and quite bold styling as well. So wider lapels, slanted pockets, little ticket pocket, and things like that, shorter sleeves. That's the sort of thing that we do quite well. Other options are, we've got this beautiful red pheasant tweed with an amazing golden waistcoat in the middle. It's a golden linen, again from Holland and Sherry. These are Yorkshire tweeds that we're working with here. And then another quite a loud check, another Yorkshire tweed that's got quite a loud moss green with grey, slate colours going through it, paired with this really nice kind of raspberry pink waistcoat that's got little flecks of orange and things going through it. Again, these are things that changing the waistcoat and adding little pops of colour is something that we're pretty good at, I think. It's something that brings out a little bit more personality, and it just makes the garment look more like it's yours. It looks more considered, but it's not for everyone. We do plenty of plain navy two-piece suits, a beautiful Harrison's of Edinburgh worsted wool, really subtle, quite plain, but beautiful and perfect all the same. So that's our second option, is a traditional suit. Again, plenty of different options in terms of styling for lapels, pockets, even under your collar, little flashes of colour, linings, things like that. And of course everything is made just for you and to your exact measurements. So suits are our second option. So option 3 is black tie and evening wear. This is something that was kind of frowned upon for a long time. This kind of black tie look and dinner jackets at weddings was seen as being inappropriate for UK weddings, a very American thing, quite a continental thing as well. But over the last few years, things have definitely changed and moved on, and we see more and more black tie and evening weddings. It looks fantastic. There's no denying that black tie, dinner jackets, bow ties, patent, and just little pops of colour. It looks fantastic. It looks amazing. Love working on these kind of styles. They differ slightly from suits, so there's a few different things to consider and a few different things to look at. You'll also hear them being called tuxedos. Tuxedos a tuxedo is a kind of Americanism. It's the same thing. Black tie, dinner jacket, tuxedo, it's the same thing really. So fabric wise, they're usually made from kind of super high-end materials, things like mohair, which is a kind of cashmere, really fine cashmeres, things like velvets, even silk blends and things like that as well. Traditionally black tie is very, you know, it's dressing up, it's kind of party wear, and I think that's still very appropriate for your wedding. So when you're looking at a kind of black tie dinner jacket style, it's those kind of higher end fabrics that you're looking at. It just has that little extra special ingredient to it, which I think is fantastic. So the example that we've got here is cut from a kind of deep reddy, browny, maroony mohair, again from Holland & Sherry. We've got a shawl lapel in velvet, so with dinner jackets you wouldn't go for a notched lapel, you'd maybe go for a shawl lapel or a peaked lapel. And sometimes you can do it in a contrasting fabric, so the velvet just adds a nice little touch to it. Often you see it in satin or silk or grosgrain, or even just a contrast material, a kind of darker version of the jacket body. The whole point in black tie and evening wear is to look really sleek and elegant, and also to, when you think of elegance, I think of it as quite subtle, quite subdued. I think that to kind of shout out loud and say, look at me, I don't think that's very elegant. I think that elegance should be subtle, and I think that's what we do with black tie jackets and black tie outfits, is something that is subtle and elegant, but it has that wow factor, it has that something different. So cutting it in the red, or using, you know, black velvet or something, and just little styling tweaks that make your jacket your own, that make it stand out for the crowd, but it doesn't shout about it. With the black tie dinner jacket, we've paired it here with a cummerbund. A cummerbund is a kind of alternative to a waistcoat. Your trousers would sit slightly higher, and then the cummerbund just makes your waist a little bit higher, a little bit longer, and it elongates your figure and gives you that kind of nice sleek look. The shirt that we pair black tie with is slightly different from what you wear with a suit. This one is got a slight pleat going through it. We also do Marcella shirts. We have a shirt maker who makes bespoke shirts for us, so we look at different styling options with that as well. Black tie refers to bow ties. If you're going to wear a black straight tie, it should only ever be at a funeral. I don't think there's a place in any man's wardrobe at any other occasion for a black straight tie other than a funeral. So for black tie evening events, it's always a bow tie. You could wear a cravat as well, but I would say bow tie is pretty classic. Here we've got a silk bow tie which matches a silk cummerbund. We can do bespoke bow ties and cummerbunds to match your outfit as well. Trouser wise, I would pair this with either a navy worsted or a charcoal worsted, or a black, just to tie in with the black silk as well. So lots of different options with black tie, even on the cuffs as well. So we've got this turn back cuff. a little reference to James Bond and Sean Connery's dinner jacket when he had a turn back cocktail cuff. Things like that, very subtle, very unique, but in a very subtle way, and very stylish. So that's option number 3. It's black tie dinner wear. So option number 4, as I mentioned, was traditional morning dress. It's not something that you see very often at Scottish weddings, but it's very commonplace in England. And when I talk about traditional morning dress, I mean the kind of longer coat with the tails, and the cashmere trousers, double-breasted waistcoat, and usually a cravat or a straight tie. As I say, we don't get much call for it in Scotland, but we have done a few. One of the variations that I particularly like is pairing the tail coat with tartan trousers. So the trousers that we have, we can do trews or trousers. These are a bit more contemporary, just tartan trousers. Trews are often higher waisted, but yeah, we've done the morning coat, which is a traditionally English looking coat, especially for weddings, but paired it with the tartan trews, just to bring in that kind of Scottish kind of feel to it. That's what the client was at. That's exactly what the client was after. Morning wear is something that we can certainly do. We can look at a variation of fabrics, from lightweight kind of charcoals and greys. Even on the waistcoats, the traditional is the kind of lemon or dove grey waistcoat. We can do that, or we can look at different kind of slight variations on texture and pattern and things, just to make it that little bit different. As I say, it's the sort of thing that you can buy off the peg in England quite readily. In Scotland, you can't get it that readily available, but it's certainly something we can do. And if it's something that you're interested in, let's try and push it a little bit, and do something a little bit different. So that is my rundown of the top 4 styles to wear on your wedding day. Let me know what you think. Leave comments below. Make sure to subscribe to our new channel. Click the red subscribe button and the little bell for notifications on new content. And let me know what you're thinking about wearing on your wedding day, or show us pictures of what you did wear on your wedding day. As always, please check out our website, hunterkingsley.com, specifically the wedding album. That's got a great range of images and testimonials and stories about grooms that we've worked with in the past, and how we made each of their outfits completely unique, completely individual to them, and made them look amazing and feel amazing on their big day. Thanks for watching, and please do tune in for the next instalment. Cheers.